I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Nowadays, men aren't proper men anymore. And to me, one of the gravest sins a man can commit against a woman is wasting her time. يعني لا أنت جاهز. You're not ready. You're not financially capable. You're not emotionally capable. You're nowhere near ready taking on the responsibility that is caring and protecting a woman. And that's all they seek. It's one of the gravest sins you can commit. Especially that girls are ready. A lot of women are ready. They're like, I want to be married. I want to have children. I want to open a home. And you know that that's what she wants. And you waste her time.
I'm sorry, but I disagree.
You guys who've worked in bottle service, you guys have people you serve all the time that make more than $400,000 a year, right?
Yeah.
The top 1% of wage earners makes $400,000 a year. The average man makes $37,000 a year. Ready? Wow. Now, here's what happens. Now you start, because here's the problem. A lot of women are like, why can't I find a good man? And the reason why is because you think they exist when they don't. They fucking don't. And that's the thing. It's like, it's one of these things that this city kind of screws you up because you met a really hot guy who works at the club or whatever. You're sleeping with the DJ and you're just like, no, he thinks that I'm different. But no, the DJ's been with a bunch of girls because the DJ's 6'3", makes $200,000 a year. And he has so many fucking options you don't realize. Whereas every other man you met in your entire life has none. It's not a linear progression. It's a fucking exponential progression. So we just said 33% of men, 0 sexual partners. The average North American male has 5. So once we get to the 50th percentile, we're at 5. When we said we get to the top 5%, we said 150 partners. It goes like this. Whoop. That's what it looks like. So it's like, and when women are complaining about men over and over, they are literally fighting over this 5% of men that they're all fighting over. Do you understand?
Where the fuck are the decent men in LA? In Ohio, I just stayed away from them because why would I want to date someone in Ohio?
Girl, you are preaching to the choir. There is no one authentic in Los Angeles. Like, I walk down the street here and everybody is fake. I'm just like, am I the only real one here? BT dubs, I totally feel you on Ohio. Too many poor people. But then Los Angeles, plenty of money, but no one's real. What, do I have to go to Chicago where I may get shot? Also, I love you, so let me tell you this is a sister. You're cracking here, 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 and here. Okay, that's it. Just a little chit-chit, chit-chit, chit-chit. You're sorted. I love you.
Single girlies in their late 20s, early 30s. Where are we finding men?
Unfortunately, they are working overtime instead of going out and dating because they feel they will never be attractive enough or wealthy enough for a girl ever again. They would rather check their weather app than chat with another person on Hinge. If they're not at work, they're usually at home, the gym, playing video games with friends, or fighting for democracy. You're welcome.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
Why would I help a man get on his feet if there are men who are already standing up?
Because all the stand-up men have supportive women and we ain't checking for lazy ones. Drizzle, drizzle.
A nice callback. One of the primary narratives that feeds into this feminist delusion is that men don't have options. Ladies, with transportation being limitless following financial success, all we have is options. We can buy a ticket to literally anywhere but North Korea in the East and find traditional values you wouldn't be able to understand even if you tried. It is why those who choose to actually settle down would rather grab a passport and travel a great distance than make a bet with something next door. The top comments are, same, why would I help a woman get on her feet when it's other women that's already on their feet? Women don't understand that the high-value man will always empathize with the average man because he was once average himself. When he sees a woman disrespecting an average man, he's reminded of how he was treated in the past and is instantly turned off. Facts, and a lot of those women were still there when the man wasn't standing up. Drizzle, drizzle. Real shit. Say that again. I think the comments here say it all, and that's why modern women continue to fail to understand. It's not that men don't desire women, it's that they, in no way, desire to debase themselves for something of incredibly low quality when time is on their side. Next.
How much you had to drink?
I told you, 2 shots and a Rebel.
It smells like you had a whole lot more than that.
You want to smell me?
You breath smell like shit.
Cognac.
Yeah, it smells like
cognac.
It smells like cock.
That's all I could
That's
drink.
what it smells like.
You're gonna
smells like cognac.
Are you gonna try? Okay, if you're gonna take.
Thank you for your service. There was a time when I worked on body cam breakdowns with a couple of people, and let me tell you one thing. In almost every case, the most belligerent and entitled women were those found in the West. I actually came across one case where the woman's decisions led to a significant loss of a life in the other vehicle. All she could talk about on the way to prison was how she was looking forward to graduating, getting laid, and partying. It's a sickness, people. It really, really is. So the comments are, cock yak. That pissed him off. It's Sunday, for crying out loud. A lot of the comments point out that this is most likely a skit, but it doesn't negate what I said earlier. After all, art imitates life as much as life imitates art. There's a reason things like this enter the mainstream, and it's not because the West is full of upstanding feminists. Another one.
It's kind of sad that a lot of these females won't date a guy who lives with his mom, but would instead date a guy who lives with his wife.
Western female psychology is on full display. Criticize what's stable and find a way to dismantle it even further. When these chicks see a stable family dynamic, their single mom upbringing often makes them green with envy. By banishing masculinity in their respective social circles, they lose the traditional roots that lead to a stable life. In other words, when they see it, they resent it. This is why men do everything in their power to circumvent this reality for their own children in the future by going their own way. Nobody has time to clean up someone else's mess that they deliberately made. The comments are, dude wakes up, chose violence, spit facts, uploads, sleeps. Damn, he got a point. So true, never thought about it that way. Dude overcooked again. Bro is just burning instead of cooking. I see no issues with these. As always, for a unified comment section, gold stars for everyone. Women will dig icks up like it's going out of style to distract themselves from their own shortcomings. They'll rant and rave about being the table and other crazy things, but it all comes from the same shameful space in their head they used to try and grab that bag. Moving on.
What would you rate yourself on a scale from 1 to 10? Just your face. You cannot use stuff.
A 10.
Oh, poor baby. Now let's try this again.
So I'm
You
not
are not the most beautiful woman in the world. Cosmopolitan ain't trying to get you to be on the cover. People ain't deemed you one of the most beautiful women in the world. So let's go
So
ahead.
what would you rate me?
I asked you. Since you want to bring looks about men into it, I'm asking you. What would you rate yourself? And the first thing out of your mouth was a lie. A 10. You ain't nobody's 10.
What's that?
You first thing you came out of your mouth, you said you're a 10, and you're not a 10.
My face is not a 10. I don't have no makeup on, and my hair is not done, and this is all real hair.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right.
I think I'm definitely a 10.
Cool. I bet you do.
I bet she does. I bet she does. Gents, welcome back to another episode of Modern Female Delusion. When it comes to men, we tend to have a very accurate idea of where we stand in the world. From looks to the general hierarchy in the workplace, we don't suffer from the syndrome that seems to plague every chick's mind on this side of the planet. But in the minds of most women, they're independent boss babes with a face worthy of being on every cosmetics campaign and a body that won't quit. In essence, the world revolves around them, and common sense is an affront to the personally curated bubble. Here's the first set of comments. A lot of rage in this one. She looks rough, but she is a 7. Stop hating. He looks like a 2. She is a 4. I disagree. I'm sure she can be someone's 10. Everyone has a different rating system. She was beautiful. She's 10. Well, it looks like the mob got here first on this one. As always, it just highlights the fact that women will be anything but honest, producing a group of ladies that will be searching for Prince Charming long after they hit the wall. Next clip. I don't even know what to make of this one. Is it Shamu cosplay? Is this the Little Mermaid before a 3-month hibernal cleanse? I'm really at a loss here. When it comes to delusion, there's a wide variety for Western females. You have the ones that nuke their marriage and wonder how everything went wrong, and then you have the types like Lizzo that often don't even make it to the wall because they'd rather have that fifth quarter pounder with cheese. Honestly, if I come across one more of those body positive mannequins, I think I might just lose my mind. Alright, the top comments are, didn't she body shame her background dancers? Is she trying to look ridiculous? Good job. Her turn to embarrass herself. You dropped this, queen. Damn, this sandworm from Dune really let itself go. Okay, wow. Merciless. Well done, people. I could not stop laughing for like 20 damn minutes. It's the sandworm one that got me. And as for the first comment, yes, she did. But that's not really the part that matters here. It's that it's coming from Lizzo that matters to make the comment more clear. You see, shame is an important part of the human experience. It keeps us in check before we bring a whole new meaning to the Hunger Games. Next clip.
Everything about women is deception. You guys wear makeup, heels, waist trainers. Everything about you guys is a lie.
That's not a lie.
Absolutely.
I could take my heels off. I'm still the same person. I'm just a little bit shorter.
Let's say I told you I was a lawyer. I had a firm.
Okay, well, that's lying, isn't
and we
it?
Right? Then you find out that I work at McDonald's. I'm probably going to get Me Too, aren't I?
Because you're a liar.
Oh, okay. But what about women wearing makeup?
Is
wearing
that a
waist
lie?
trainers?
Wait,
Filters on
I would take my
Instagram.
makeup off straight
Filters
away.
on
I
Instagram.
don't know way about being barefaced.
Makeup, women are fake. Everything about them is deceptive, guys. I told y'all. Everything about women, a lot of the times, is based in deception.
You've been hurt, heartbroken,
It's
and
the truth.
damaged by women, and I really feel like either a therapist or a good cry would change a lot of your views.
What did I say that was incorrect?
That women just a lie about everything. That women care about social stuff.
The
that
makeup
women are all gold
industry is a
diggers.
multi-billion-dollar
Yes, it is, and
industry
it's
for a
also
reason.
very damaging for women. Hence, I
You changed
try.
an argument.
Why?
Because makeup in itself inherently is to deceive.
Or to enhance.
No, it's to make up for your lack of aesthetics. That's why it's called makeup.
If I take my
Make
makeup
up
off,
for lack of aesthetics.
I look the exact same. Oh yeah, I do. I look the same. Like,
Yeah, and I got a
post-
12-inch dick.
Do you? That's fantastic. That's
Yeah.
why I got so many hoes.
She definitely lost it at the end there. When it comes to chicks, it's all relative depending on personal benefit. They'll call it assault if a man tries to portray his career in a better light or switch things up, only for them to awaken the mob if a guy finds out that a woman isn't really a woman at all, or through the simpler lens like in this clip, wearing 3 layers of makeup to look completely different. The game is always just silly and guns when the shoe is on the other foot. Anyway, the comments here are, if you look the same without makeup, then why wear it? I actually agree with him. Makeups like hair extensions, eyelashes, eyebrows redraw, high heels for height, bras to hip fallen breast, waist trainers to press fat belly. Should I type more? But my question is, if she would look the same without makeup, then what's the makeup for? Exactly, and that's how a new case for the delusion argument emerges. Women are always saying they're perfect without all the bells and whistles, or worse yet, they'll say that they're doing it for themselves when every cosmetic decision they make is geared towards looking more sexually viable. Next.
Don't say that. This is my husband. Hello?
Hello?
Hey.
Hey, babe, what's up? What you up to?
Just riding around with my side nigga in your car while you at work.
Girl, you play all day. Tell your nigga I say what's up.
My husband say, hey.
What up, baby? Man, you're fine time, just like a fucking nigga.
She sound like a man.
Yeah, man. Y'all play all day. But look, I'm about to get off from work. You gonna have my food ready for me to eat when I get home?
I'm gonna have something for you to eat when you get home.
Alright, well, I'm gonna be home in a little bit then.
Alright, babe, I love you.
Sometimes delusion is sadly shared. I often hear the argument that women cheat for a number of reasons, but one of the least referenced is that many just do it because they find it funny. In some twisted sort of way, they think it's hilarious to fool around while the man's away and try to get caught like it's a game. Meanwhile, Chad is in the passenger seat about to bring that to an end. Well, eventually. This dude is pretty blind, and a little deaf too. I'm gonna be honest, this one was confusing as hell. So here are the comments. Nah, cause he trusts her, but it's clear as day. When in the Jada Smith going on, lol. Oh, bless his little heart. The audacity to say, I love you at the end. She's playing a dangerous game. Exactly. I got no idea what the end of this will be, but something tells me it'll end up on the news. Regardless, Bro, that was clearly a dude's voice on the other end there. At this point, I really don't know if this is a troll or if this lady is just trying to prove how naive the husband is. Strange. Moving on.
I like guys that don't like me. And when they start liking me, I don't like them. And it's really, really sad. It's weird.
Possibly the most classic delusion in the book. Guys, this is what happens when a culture allows women to make all their personal decisions. The signals don't just get crossed. Everything just starts flowing in the other direction. I mean, come on. This woman is talking about it on camera with a sense of pride. The piano music can be a bit misleading to make all of this sound sad, but it's obvious she doesn't really care what the result will be for her life, as long as the spotlight shines for a few more seconds. The comments are, because you don't like yourself. Passport Bros keeps growing every day because of clowns like this. She has the mentality of a 12-year-old. Nothing about that is cute. Daddy issues? Nope, mommy issues. The only statistical daddy issue to be found here is absence, and I really doubt he had a choice in the matter. This is a thing most men here usually do before all other excuses in the book. Initially, young bucks will try to analyze to see if it can be solved, but you quickly learn what it really is. Nonsense. Moving on here, next clip.
Red flag that I see in a guy is having a mom, and even worse, having a sister.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mommy. I'm gonna give her a kiss. Hey, I give her a kiss.
Like I said, criticize what's stable and find a way to dismantle it even further. This one kind of ripped my heart out, but it's important to show it because, basically, all of these women just choose to talk out of their asses. They act like wounded animals to justify all the poor decision making, but they'll quickly hop on a pedestal to try and diminish the value of tradition and reverence. It's a character trait that pretty much all of them share at this point. Even with a miraculous shift in the paradigm, this won't change for a long, long time. Let's see what others got to say. The biggest red flag is having a mindset like yours. First OnlyFans, now they hating on our moms? She's a red flag. Red flag is looking like that and thinking you can get a good man and meet his mom. F this generation. Look, I'd like to say this is the only generation with 304s. That would make things so much easier to solve. But the reality of the situation is that you see 65-year-old broads spewing the same nonsense in a lot of these clips. The seeds are deep. Alright, last one.
Wait, so did you really have straight A's?
Yeah, I did, all throughout high school. I think I graduated with like a 4.5 something.
Because the clip with your brother, I mean, he did have a point. You got all those good grades for what? To sell yourself online?
All that study. For what? We just started. So do you just come on here to piss me off? Like, you're supposed to be my brother.
No, I come here to...
Like, you're supposed to show me love, not be against me.
I come on here to tell you the truth.
What the fuck are you talking about? What's the truth?
So, when you leave here to go to Miami, you're living out your life. But
Yeah,
then
I'm
you just
living my
forget
life.
you just forget whatever happens in North Carolina and what happens to me at school. Like I get like bullied, but not like bullied, like punched at, but people just say shit and that pisses me off. And like I just wish that stopped because whatever you doing here affects me at North Carolina. I've been getting name called a lot more at school. Some random girl said, "See you later, Pinky."
Pinky.
Pinky.
And here we'll make one last point before hitting the road. It would be one thing if female delusion only damaged those who encouraged it. That's an isolated situation that can arguably be controlled. However, the main cause of these issues, one that made channels like Man Guide have to exist to fight this, is that this kind of mass hysteria causes collateral damage. That's why men are walking away, because that means that we got a chance to protect those we care about from crap like this. So the last set of comments are, he goes to my school, really nice dude. I hate his sister for him. She brings dishonor to her family with her selfish acts. She's lucky to have one person to tell her the truth whether she likes it or not. Poor kid. OF really ruins people. It really does. Men, as always, save your money, your time, and your sanity. To live among crazies and endorse their behavior will leave you just as lost. Instead, seek traditional masculinity and growth. This is the way.
So now I had put a post up bragging about her dad, but I told him I needed some money for some groceries, and he decided to deliver the stuff, pick what he want to pick, and have it delivered himself. Come here, come back here. You come back here. Leave him alone. Come back here. He, instead of sending me the money, he didn't have the groceries delivered. You don't know what my kids want. You don't know what my kids like. That's me. You buying stuff off of what you like, because I told him, you know, I needed tissue and I was out and I needed some groceries, and he done went shopping online and had some groceries delivered. That ain't what I wanted. I wanted you to send me the money so I could shop my own self. So me and my kids could eat what we want to eat, not what you want, the stuff you like. This was not it. Shit, I'm not happy about this shit.
Oh no, she can't use the money for nails and clubbing. What has the world come to? There isn't a better example to show how women in the modern world are simply beggars on the street. I remember giving someone a granola bar back in the day and they chucked it at my face. This dude did exactly what should be the norm for any kind of support, because none of these mothers actually spend that money on the kids. Moreover, the man shouldn't even have to go this far. He took a whole trip to bring food on the table, which is more than she ever did. The comments are, the way you sound, I wouldn't trust you with cash either. Bingo. He made the right choice because she def was about to get high with that money. And then some. The voice really gives it away in half of these things. Man, the way they keep denying me for food stamps, I would have took them groceries up so quick. Get a job, lady. My baby daddy never in 20 years ever had groceries delivered to my house. If you don't want them, I'll take them. Good Lord, what in the hell is going on here? Moving on.
Mr. White, what would be the first meal that you would feed me?
Salad.
Amazing. One word and you managed to make me spit water all over my keyboard. Excellent work. The comments are, she doesn't need a meal for at least a month. Why is that her question though? You're not serious, right? Why is she setting herself up? She hungry. If she hit the gym, it's over with. She already got the face. Alright, calm yourself. That laugh was funnier than the joke. Bro didn't even hesitate. No, he did not. Alright, next clip.
Just say your rent is $500. What do you tell your man your rent is?
$500. 500. What? You want me to lie? Hell yeah!
My rent $1K.
I'm gonna say 1,000 so I can keep the other 5.
Like 1,000. My rent 1,000. You heard?
What do you do with the other 5?
It's mine. It don't matter what I do with it.
1,200.
1,250.
It's 15. 1,500.
1,800.
2K off the bat.
That shit is $2,000. Give me the extra.
3,500.
What are you gonna do with the extra money?
Why?
Welp, there were two that said 500, but this isn't a fictional situation, so we have to assume the worst. Modern women have gone from being greedy to all-out theft in just a few years, and it's on full display here, fellas. For men, the hustle involves punching in and getting that paycheck when the real work is done, but for them, the hustle is, well, us. Over the last few decades, they've proven that they can't hold down a decent job, even when it's governmentally enforced, so they try and get that bag in any other way possible. The top comments are, and they wonder why nobody wants them. It's crazy, man, that the big one was asking for a fee like she was about to be weighed at the airport luggage. Scamming your own dude is bewildering. I guess so. I mean, not for us or the rest of the Man Guide family. You could tell me it's $1,700, you're paying it anyways. See, this is the only right answer. Gold star for you, brother. Only women can flex being broke. He doing God's work exposing how women really think about us and use us for real. The truth is the only thing that matters, which is why we have to show this.
Do you aspire to be a stay-at-home mom?
If it comes with an allowance, yeah.
An allowance.
Yeah, like if he gives
Makes
me money
sense.
weekly, yeah.
Obviously, the man is working out there getting the bread, so life is good for you.
Yeah.
But
it
you're
has
saying
to
you
be.
want
That's
even an
part of
extra
it.
incentive, like give me a little bit of extra.
Of course.
Yeah.
I also want to have my own
Yeah.
thing too.
There
Like
you
I want to
go.
have my
Yes,
own
own
credit, my own
business.
cards. I want to have my own thing. Where
Why do you want your own?
I'm gonna tell you why I want my own. Because nothing is forever.
So you think that it's okay for
need
a
to take
woman
notes.
to be a stay-at-home mom as long as she could plot her exit?
It's not plotting your exit.
There's no intention in his mind to make a backup plan in case you don't do what you want to do and you decide to just bounce.
Okay.
So what happens is when we get to this conversation is like, why do men not want to be married? This is the example, because if I go and I bust my behind and I provide and protect and I do everything for my wife, not my girlfriend, my wife, she's still thinking in the back of her head that this is a possibility, this is not going to work, and she wants to be okay when it doesn't. The ideology that you have in the mindset is called catastrophizing. A lot of women do it, and basically what that is when a woman is preparing for the tragedy rather than focusing on what is currently happening in their relationship or
Everyone has difficulty staying in the moment, but for women, that's just an impossibility. Plus, when the chick, like this one here, already has a voice like Temu Cardi B, there's no way you're headed for a prosperous future anyway. Women like to talk a big game about how motherhood is this tremendous hurdle that needs to be celebrated, even though most of them don't even come close to the description. Ladies, you don't get a reward for being rewarded. That's not how life works. Here are the top comments. She is protecting her future. She's smart. Your profile name is Nene, so I don't even think I need to respond further. The funny part is that this is the same kind of woman who will get mad at you if you want her to sign a prenup. Absolutely true. Although, and I know I'm beating a dead horse, but the prenup is not going to protect you in this climate. There are no guarantees for the average man. She is preparing for tragedy that she is going to purposely create. Bingo, that's the key thing that's missing here. She's not preparing for the tempest, she herself is the disaster. I recognize that even a broken clock is correct twice a day, but how are all these very young men with podcast, know so much, with limited experiences, and no wife or ex-wife? We can read, sweetheart. We can read.
The only time having a boyfriend is worth it
is when
he is able to fully support you and pay all your bills. I said it.
Yeah, you said it. But wouldn't it just be so much easier to admit that one is broke and can't actually handle being an adult and paying one's own bills?
He's not your husband. If you're gonna be a girlfriend to someone, he needs to be paying all your bills. Otherwise, why is he there? What is his purpose?
Well, I could think of several reasons actually, but what do I know?
If he's not, he's just a boyfriend. Meaning if he leaves you, and a boyfriend is not a legal title.
Congratulations for figuring that part out.
If he leaves you and promises you marriage, leaves you with nothing, you get nothing.
At least they understand the basics.
But if he's paying all your bills, you're able to save money, you're able to invest into businesses that you want to do. If he leaves you, you're leaving with something else at the end of it.
Another example of a strong, independent woman who can stand on their own 2 feet. Not at all a gold digger.
But to date a guy and be someone's girlfriend for free?
Is it just me, or is some women completely lost when it comes to actually understanding what the concept of dating is?
Being someone's girlfriend is not worth it, okay? No. If you're gonna be a girlfriend, he needs to be paying a bill or two. These bills are due. I'm not usually anyone's girlfriends, but I'll make that exception for you if you're willing to pay some bills. If you're willing to pay a bill or two.
I can just imagine all the men running to that woman's profile to take advantage of that situation. Right.
Okay, look. There are costs that come with being a chick, but here's the thing. These costs are in no way related to what they complain about, and they are self-inflicted 99.9% of the time. There's a cost to doing anything, really. Dating comes with a cost, tossing the rubber comes with a cost, body count comes with a cost, and making a video like this expecting people to respect you, newsflash, comes with a cost. Another word for this cost the chick is talking about is consequences. You prepare for the streets when with a guy, well, guess what? To the streets you shall return. You played yourself, and no man is gonna give you that money anyway. Grizzle grizzle. Here are the top comments. Modern women, ashamed by nothing, but offended by everything. The truth is on full display here. She's got 43 teeth on the lower jaw. Interesting observation, my man. Well, who's paying the orthodontist? Damn, everyone's going for the teeth. This is amazing. Legend has it she's still paying her own bills. I can never date in this world again. It's just too much unnecessary stress and work. Lots of people are just to damage from previous relationships. Going full monk mode. Godspeed, sir. Next.
If you want a man to spend money, just tell him he's broke. Is it harsh? Yes. Is it ethical? Probably not. But does it f***ing work? Yeah. I want you to say, I mean, if you can't afford it, that's like totally fine. You can just tell me that. Because what they're gonna say is, no, it's not that. I can afford it. You say, okay, well then what's going on? I mean, nothing. Like, yeah, let's do it. And I'm in sales, just to put this into perspective. Reality is, if you're a woman and your client's a man on the other side of the Zoom or the phone, there is such a powerful power dynamic that you can play on.
A powerful power dynamic. Oh God. When you think it just can't get any worse, you come across this kind of garbage. Black Spider Guy didn't even come out with the ukulele on this one because, honestly, how do you respond to this level of delusion? Sometimes a rant coming from these chicks is so repulsive that they basically explain to everyone watching why they'll be forever unfit. Also, challenging a guy about his finances is not gonna yield results. This is the kind of sprinkle shit where you know the woman talking has never been in a relationship that doesn't end the morning after Chad gives you a pat on the head before shutting that door. The comments are, gentlemen, just ignore her. We will see how she ends up in her 40s. I don't even think we need to see it. I'm sure we've seen her future in plenty wall hitter compilations already. As crazy as it sounds, listen to her. She's putting you all on game of how women can easily manipulate men that care about impressing them. Now, when a woman tries these tactics, you can do the exact opposite. I see where you're coming from here, but anyone watching this would fall for it. Not even if they took a rod to the head like Phineas Gage. Another one.
If women have a female nature, how is hoflation even an issue?
Hoflation is just a term. We have divine femininity.
Oh, maybe? Okay, it could be having to do with like inflation. You know, things cost a lot more now. Luxury lifestyles are in. Everyone wants to be living that social media lifestyle. And so, you know, they want to have a man who can support that lifestyle without having to work. And I think it was more normalized just to be a housewife and not to go on trips and to get fancy cars and stuff. So maybe it was more just a different lifestyle. So that's why.
We are way more superior than you guys. Without women, men wouldn't exist. So you guys are actually nothing. Because without us, you're useless. You wouldn't even be born. Okay? And all men, whether you were with them for 10 years or not, will cheat and lie. So it doesn't really matter.
So funny. Okay, wow, this is like the 5th time this week where we've heard women talk about divinity in one way or another. Ladies, nobody is looking at you while you're in a jumpsuit in the club thinking, wow, she's really in her divine feminine energy. Better go give her that $300 date she's been talking about. We see the crow's feet, the bunny ears, and the Pennywise makeup, and we all know that to encourage such a thing would prevent us from enjoying ourselves. It's really not that complicated. The comments are, that last woman needs therapy. I'm not even trying to be funny. She is in pain. If any president or world leader put asylums on the agenda, I would immediately seek citizenship and vote. It's a key issue nobody is talking about. The girl at the end sound old, bitter, and hurt, lol. I'm very sure the last one is never going to get wifed up. To the last woman at the end, if women are superior, then why are you complaining about the patriarchy and male privilege? Doesn't that show a contradiction? It definitely does, but good luck trying to convince a professional in uniform to give up their, job. Next clip.
By the end of the date, the waiter came up, the kind waiter, all on one bill. And me, be the lady, I'm not answering the question. I do not know what that waiter just said. I'm looking directly at you, sir. And he looks directly at me. Get this?
We can split it. You okay with that? We can split it?
And the first thing that came out of my mouth was,
yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
And I was like, Abby, do not make a face.
It's funny how when the bill or the check comes, that's when you'll start hearing modern women philosophize about what it means to be a lady. But the moment they leave the restaurant, they're back to their ways of, saying bro or dropping the F-bomb and rejecting modesty.
There ain't no feminist in foxholes. That's the truth. Women love to talk constantly about their strength and resilience, but the second any king of adversity surfaces, they go right back to default settings. And honestly, that's the entire reason men walk away more than ever before, because when women don't make it on their own, they either have a complete meltdown or don the apron. It's hilarious either way. Here are the top comments. She's 4 at best. Someone actually asked her out. I know, man, so many of these women are just so low tier, but it's definitely the Chads trying to keep it easy. Even the most hardcore feminist who has fought for gender equality for her entire life will still throw it all right out the window the second the bill comes. Amen, brother. Gold star for you. Damn, I thought I was a traditional woman, but I guess I can't be if I say bro or swear sometimes. Congratulations on being the trillionth chick to refuse to watch the entire video. The rule has always been, the person who invited pays, unless other agreements are made before leaving for the activity. The profile wandering sage doesn't make you a wandering sage, just so you know, ma'am. Next clip.
Spent 17 years of my life with an elderly man who smelled like cabbage, just to be told I've got nothing in the will, nothing, and he was worth £33 million. And you think this is funny? I have wasted my life.
Hey guys, this lady got with a dude for his money and is upset that she's not in his will. Oh, why'd you get with a dude that you really didn't like? Stay with him every night. Thought you was gonna get rich, but that man was like, yo, this bitch ain't getting shit. Yeah. That guy was smart.
Oh no, accountability. Here are the top comments. Maybe he knew you didn't love him. People, she is right. This is not funny. It is hilarious. He knew exactly what she was after. He just played along. She took the ultimate L. Love seeing justice. Yes, good job, King. He knew what time it was. That song is crazy work. This is what victory looks like, people. Gotta end it with a masculine win. Stay safe out there. And if you made it to the end of this video, I want to wish you tremendous success. So don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment to have a chance to win, and hit that subscribe button for daily videos. And if you could take a quick sec to subscribe to the second channel, Man Guide Reacts, link is down below in the description, so we can be sure that our message will keep on reaching the new men out there. I appreciate all the support, y'all.